What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 2 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Bhashiva the White Tiger Immortal Empires campaign. Weird not to say modded, but it is what it is. Anyway, as we saw last time, Bhashiva and her Tigermen show the ogres that Kitty's got claws, obliterating the, I want to say, Blood Guzzlers faction that we started at war against and grabbing up our first province, primarily using, by spamming the basic Tiger Warrior anti-infantry variant, which are frankly going to be better against factions that aren't ogres, like the Greenskins, once we start mincing our way through them. It does look like Greasus is pushing northward from where he currently is positioned, and considering there is a relic in his mountains, there's a decent likelihood that we may eventually have to be forced to fight with him, and frankly, going through his territory would also put us in conflict with the Caravan of Blue Roses and with Nurgle, which would offer us some nice enemies that we, well, have not yet fought. Admittedly, it's the second episode in turn 3, so there haven't been there haven't been a lot as yet. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this turn, I believe Bhashiva needs to keep recruiting, so let's grab 2 more of the Tiger Warrior units to round out her army a little bit. Some of these will be replaced or rebuilt later in the game as well, once we can take advantage of the bonuses offered by some of our recruitment buildings to increase the defense and attack traits. And these things, Hunter's Altar and Teachings of Kamau. In fact, we may want to upgrade in order to be able to get access to the units and recruited have 8% melee attack bonus or 8% melee defense bonus, which is probably going to be better, but we'll see. Or we could even it out. Certainly something to be considered. Anyway, I do believe that's pretty much it. There's nothing to build. We were recruiting whatever it is that we can recruit, so let's end the turn and start moving towards these guys and achieving our first of Jiao Ming's goals. And we'll see if the caravan also gets anything interesting happening. I do wish we could get into position to see another ogre camp as well, though, because I did want some ogre mercenaries. Not so much for the Tigermen army, but rather for a Cathay army, as we could very much use Jade Warriors to hold the line and ogre mercenaries to dish out the damage. You want us to destroy a peasant long spear unit in order to... Let's see, this is kind of garbage, let's just fight them. We could auto-resolve it. It's risky, though, considering the medium casualties. But just let's just manually fight this real quick. It's probably not worthy of a cinematic fight and a rather simple fight of a pile of units that we've already fought previously. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to lose Abhishek, our first caravan, like this, especially since we loaded him up with extra resources. Alright, come on now. Alrighty, there we go. Start deployment. You guys, I'm a little bit afraid of you getting run down again, so let's move you here. We will move the piles of spears in to reinforce. You guys can support from up on high, and the alchemist can go there. You can kill the enemy lords. You guys can reposition as needed where you're needed, and I believe that's it. Alrighty, you guys move like this. You guys move here. Will the enemy actually start moving towards us? Yeah, we should be safe. You guys can turn off skirmish mode. Let's speed it up all the way to the max like so. Alright, speed it back down. You guys take position up here, take advantage of the hill. I think you guys can move teensy bit more forward. You guys don't have stock, but you can just mince all of those infantrymen. Like so, and then you can maybe intercept the enemy Saber Tusk pack for anything else. Like so, you guys attack. No. Damn it. See, why are you going in column formation? They have a tendency to do that, it feels. Don't. Oh, no. I'm gonna get cut by that. That ain't great. Alright, not that the column formation really interrupted them all that much, as the enemy got scared off, and admittedly, we got off all of our precursor weapons. That actually worked out reasonably well. There is a pile of enemies moving in. Let's hit the enemy lord with that Plague of Rust, and you kill him. Apply that weakened state, and let's speed it back up to max, so you guys target the regular ogre units, and then you can loop around and flank the enemy. And, ooh, this is going to be a nice hit. Actually, it didn't do all that much damage anyway. You kill this unit, and then you loop around. You're also trying to go into column formation. What is this? Alrighty, you hit these guys with Searing Doom. I do imagine those Saber Tusks will come back, but it is what it is. And you can use Enhanced Metallurgy to buff up everybody here. Alright, you. Smash into those Nobblers, please. And you guys loop back around. Get ready to intercept the Saber Tusks. as needed. Those poor peasants are taking a little bit of damage. Let's move you into to intercept the enemy slightly. Looks like the nobblers are moving through this. Back away, you can intercept. You guys charge here. Enemy Lord should be just about done for shortly. Do we have another spell available to us? Not as yet, unfortunately. Alright, and Saber Tusks do a little bit of damage to the unit of Tiger Warriors, but there we go. With that, the Enemy Lord shatters, and the battle is ours. Just kill a few more extra units before we stop firing. Probably could have dropped another one of these, like so. There we go. Alright. I got so used to trying to get the bonus little extra bit of rewards after the Chaos Dwarfs campaign and how they play and wanting more labor, so it's kind of second nature now. Anyway, around 10% army loss is not so bad. I allowed the Lord to take a little bit more damage than I was expecting, to be honest. I really didn't expect him to get so badly hurt, considering he's an anti-large single-entity killer specialist versus a Slaughter Master who is very much not. But, you know, he'll get stronger with time. We've got ourselves about 10% healing versus barely any cash for our trouble. I think it's safer to heal because this caravan will keep moving. And speaking of the caravan, did you level? You did not, unfortunately. Very close to it though, so while you continue to travel the sort of trickle... Oh, wait, you really can't, you can't reach Blood Peak? That's a shame. You can reach Blood Peak. A moment, you go out here. Wait. Oh, now you can reach Blood Peak. Alright, let's do this. I was gonna say maybe march stance in order to keep moving, but we should probably recruit at least a little bit more in the way of units. And, the question is... military presence, I take it is still at Yeti Peak. Alright, you keep recruiting, though admittedly channeling would have also been a good choice here. Do we need to... consumes 10 movement range. I take it you can no longer channel if you leave the settlement. Damn it. Damn it. Yeah, no, you can no longer channel. I should have had Gandari recruit and then you channel, but all good. Let's get a couple more Jade Warriors. They're pretty dirt cheap and pretty darn effective at holding the line, which is exactly what we need. Like so. Public order-wise, we're at -5 here with Chained Great. Next turn, however, we will be able to upgrade the Tribal Holdfast. Once we've recruited these, we'll actually delete this building. We'll replace it later, but we need the infrastructure more right now. I'm also kind of inclined to grab 2 of these Celestial Dragon insignia to make the halberdiers more tanky. We'll want more halberdiers, I think, than we will want the Desert Tigress insignia, although admittedly the melee attack and armor-piercing weapon damage on the Sword and Board variant could give them some decent help. This also increases unit capacity. And this we will ignore. Okay, I gotta remember not to completely ignore it until it disappears, but yeah. I don't dislike the idea of the insignia. Here we have range and armor-piercing armor-piercing weapon damage on the Jade Warrior crossbows. Not armor-piercing missile damage, but weapon damage. Why? This does nothing. I like the... I guess it's just to get the 15% range at the cost of 10 armor, which is pretty solid, which we would probably do anyway, but surprising that this isn't armor-piercing missile damage, but I guess maybe the game thought it would be too strong in that particular case. Anyway, we'll hold off on the Iron Favor for now, though we are bringing some back with the caravan. Let's double-check Diplo, see if we got any new trade agreements. Azorn wants to trade, but it does depend on if we're fighting the ogres or not, so we'll leave them alone for now. Certainly this will make Greasus angry about things. There isn't a... actually, I was wondering if there was a landmark there. I'm curious. There is no landmark at the village of the Tigermen for the Tigermen? That's a little bit disappointing. I feel like there should be, right? Modders, it's on you. As with many things. Anyway, the rest of the turn is good. Available Jiao Ming missions. Oh, I know, game. I know. You know what? Let's just select this because I'm going to forget it. Jiao Ming goals, destroy Mountain Eaters, accept. And this will give us a decent amount of Iron Favor as well. Let's give this a little blurb a read. Dragons, in their divine glory, may be above the earthly impulse to prove anything to anyone. Really? Not from what I hear. Tigers, on the other hand, are possessed of an insatiable drive to prove their strength. Jiao Ming knows something of insatiable drive himself, and has sanctioned the Tiger Warrior's opportunity to devour this foe to the last. And we get a free Celestial Dragon Guard out of it. If we... I wonder where those appear. I take it they appear here in the Jiao Ming support trait? Yeah, or tree rather. Number of units currently in the pool. Interesting. We should really get some construct kitties to support the non-construct kitties at some point. Oh right, I'm just now recalling that in vanilla, unlike SFO, these are single entities rather than the 4 units. I really like them a lot better in SFO. And the same with the Sky Lanterns, obviously, which are also 4 units. But nonetheless, we'll find uses for them, I'm sure. I do like that disrupted/silence thing on this one. What do you do again? You have the Jade Lion Breath and you have the Winds Augment. I will also have to have room for more Claw Speakers as well. Anyway, let's end the turn. Recruiting. And moving towards Yeti Peak, I suppose. Watch these ogres just reposition. I would not be surprised if they did. But I would imagine that they wouldn't be able to afford 2 armies at the same time. We should still be safe. As in, they can only be in one place at once. And really? Wow, these guys keep getting interrupted every turn. Alright, so hopefully we can auto-resolve this. No, we cannot. Alright, another quick little manual fight. Is it me or does it feel like this has been too many caravan intercepts for the first caravan within the first turn? I wonder if they have increased the number of interceptions. Or just rather caravan battles. Normally I wouldn't be annoyed about this, but the point of this is sort of to not fight the same battle many times. Anyway, start deployment. We will deploy here to protect our flank. Our units are damaged, so you're going to be the front liner. You will fight the enemy lord. You will go here, but we'll need to support you with one of the Tigermen units, and frankly the Tigermen are probably going to have to deal with the enemy Saber Tusks, so you're going to go here. Make sure that they can't charge through. If we blob up, we'll be able to use Enhanced Metallurgy to buff up more units, so there is that to be, that argument to be made. You stay on front of the rest of the army, and I take it the enemy will move towards us, yes? Alright. Start battle. Max speed. Will they move towards us? Yes, they will. I guess they are attacking us, technically speaking. Did I turn off skirmish mode? No, but I will turn it off now. Alright, so this is going to take a moment to... maybe I could have just moved up to here and actually blocked this off, but nah, whatever. We'll just have to patiently, or semi-patiently, wait for the enemy to reach us. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Anyway. And get it back down to regular speed. Okay, don't throw your precursor weapon at the gobs, or the nobblers, rather. That would be a waste. And don't go into column formation, please. No column. Only disc throwing. Alright, you guys, get ready to target the ogre bulls. You know what? I think we're going to move you to intercept it rather more quickly than I had originally anticipated. You don't bother breaking their charge. Let's do this and then run in here. You guys are rather weak, so I'd rather you not fight for as long. Alright, we've intercepted these guys. You go help out against them. Tiger Warriors, we're going to have you move to reinforce the line here. You, I'll loop around, get ready to hit the enemy in the back. There's that ogre charge. Let's pop off Enhanced Metallurgy on you guys now. Probably should have popped it here, but all good. You, kill the Saber Tusks. Range units still attacking. Alright, looks good to me. Let's pop off the spell right now. Ogres are out to you. Pop off Weakened. There's that Plague of Rust. Time for some Searing Doom to come out of the sky and drop upon them goblins. Gobs or nobblers. I tried to combine the word into one. Alright, it looks like the Saber Tusks are back up, but the enemy are still not having a good time here. You all help out with this. Minus you. You're going to rear charge these guys. You target the Saber Tusks. You can maybe move in and help out a little bit. Enemy Lord gets surrounded and torn to shreds rather quickly. Let's watch this for a little bit. Don't worry, we'll have some proper battles, but, you know, for now we gotta deal with it. And don't want the caravan to die. Hopefully we'll get some of those dilemmas that offer us extra units. It can't just be these little minor battles. Constantly, and... There's enough stagger to knock that big boy down. That's nice. I like that. I like that a fair bit. You do have another spell available, though frankly, the enemy should rout. You know what? Do this instead. Army loss is probably the better thing here rather than the... Oh, they came back just to have the Searing Doom come down upon them. Alrighty, then you're good. You guys are retarget. And... How are you still kicking? Good job, but damn. Alright, you got another Plague of Rust? Yes. You got another Enhanced Metallurgy? Yes. And you know what? You target the Lord as well. Admittedly, this is a Tyrant rather than a Slaughtermaster this time, so perhaps less surprising. And back off slightly, allow the infantry to take the hits, and there we are. Hit him a few more times. In fact, bring him down just because he irks me. Like so, and we're good. Alright. Quick couple little fights, but again, the game wants to destroy some of our poor peasantry in order to allow us to keep moving via auto-resolve, so we're just going to have to deal with it. At least until we can get some more units. Just a couple of Jade Warriors in here would really be a big help, because obviously the peasants aren't going to hold the line against anything like Ogre Bulls. Or at the very least not sufficiently long. The healing is basically non-existent, so we're pardon the captives. And we got 2 more turns of journey time. I wonder if this will force us into more fights. Darklands Orcs destroyed. Alright, so the Chaos Dwarfs are doing well, which is of some interest, I suppose. Now, I would like you to reinforce, but I would like to see what's going on at Titan's Notch. So let's see. Go this way. No, I can see the enemy lord. Alrighty, meaning Bhashiva. Oh, we can actually go this way? Oh, I didn't even think of that. Alright, fine. Let us move you. We can't quite reach Yeti Peak in March stance, but we can march past Titan's Notch.
The Silent Blade.
We might even be able to take both at once if we put Gandari to good use. You know what, let's do this. Gandari, you're gonna go here. Bhashiva, we will risk March stancing you. Right past Titan's Notch, and if you get attacked, this will be a great opportunity for these guys to declare war upon us. And then fight us with the additional garrison units while you're in March stance, but if they take that opportunity, I will appreciate it. Firemouth, let us immediately build the tribal holdfast while deleting the Jade Muster, as we no longer need it for now. We will well, frankly, we may want to get this army up and running quick, which may mean more Jade Warriors. Yeah, you know what, fine, keep it around, at least for a little bit. Armies of Xiangyang, we're at 356 are in favor now. Yeah, maybe we can get a few more insignia going. I take it that some of these will also include, getting more insignia, so why not? Let's attain Celestial Emperor insignia for another one of these units of Jade Warriors, like so. And 2 more on 2 of the Desert Tigress insignia. 1, 2. They increase in cost as well, which does make sense. Could grab a couple of these, but these are the crossbows without shields, and frankly, they are just too replaceable. We'd just replace them with shields later on. Unlike SFO, the shielded variant is just a straight-up upgrade, so yeah. Anyway, these 2 will go for the armor and melee defense insignia. Like so. And then these 2 will go for the Desert Tigress insignia. It lowers their melee defense, which is a little bit unfortunate, but makes them a little bit killier. And it doesn't reduce their armor. Admittedly, I do think the Celestial Emperor insignia is just straight up better, because we're still not going to be using these guys to dish out damage, but just for fun. Alrighty, like so. Alright, that looks good to me. No more buildings to build. A little bit of a quick Diplo check, but I don't imagine there's much, if anything. Oh, wait. A moment.
Attention.
Wait, so we can confederate the northern provinces, but we can't confederate the western provinces. I see. So funnily enough, Miao Ying can join the cats. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Alrighty, let's see if these guys do anything about this. Frankly, they could just move around and hit us here. Go to the south. I did accept the mission, right? I hope I did. 79. Dunk Backbreaker, eh? Dunk the Lunk. That goes a castle wall. No, they're not going to attack. Alright, fair enough. There we go. 3 Jade Warrior Halberds versus 2 regular Jade Warriors. Much as I do want the range units, we really need the better melee line, so take them into service for 750. Fulg destroyed. Oh, that's Grimgore. We're going to be forced into fighting him, but Garisi is still to the south doing Garisi things, as he does. Huh. We could upgrade this in order to grab the Jade Warrior with Halberd recruitment capability. -6, we may actually have to switch out of this for a few turns. Alright, so we'll do this. We'll start with, I was going to say the Peasant Huts for the control Or not for the control, for the growth, but the cost of the control is fairly severe, even with the money that it will save us. So I fear we're going to have to go either public order. I can get 4 in order to counteract this. This is causing us a loss of growth, though. This only gives us a +1 control at tier 1. At tier 2, it gives us 3 or 2, which actually is really not a lot. Go figure. But this will give us additional control anyway. Not by much, mind you. But it is what it is. Alright, so we'll start with a control, then we will switch to the Jade Dragon's Edict, I guess next turn. We could also do this for 1 turn and then immediately delete it at the 15%, and it would actually basically pay for itself. Yeah, it's probably just not worth it. Unless we immediately wait to upgrade this, which would make it then worth it. We could uncollect the income, but then that would just counteract what we save. Well, now, whatever, just do the public order. Alrighty, and then we'll swap out of this next turn once we increase the control there. And I believe that's it. Alright, so you guys can reach this, I take it now? You can. Alright, so now we need to be careful about the way that we do this. You will hit Titan's Notch. We are going to be at war with these guys in 5 seconds. Do we have any camp nearby to give us mercenaries? By the looks of it, no. Do we have the missions as they are? Jamming goals. Okay, so these ones will disappear in 1 turn, eh? Alright, fair enough. You, Gandari. We will declare war upon this place. No allies have been chosen to become involved in this dispute. Then we will have Gandari hit Titan's Notch and Bhashiva reinforce. Defenses are very small here, but I am worried about how much damage we'll take. We could do another quick little... Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of enemies here, especially with the defenders, so I think we will manually fight this real quick to preserve our units, reduce casualties, and then the next one will be the big cinematic battle against the ogres. I'd love to auto-resolve, but the Tigermen do seem to be fairly fragile, especially in the early game. Eventually, we'll probably have enough upgrades that they can probably auto-resolve, especially if we get more of the Iron Claw units with the anti-large, which again would be also very helpful against the ogres. But anyway, I digress. Hey, you guys go here. I'd really love to fight in the light, if that's at all possible. So let's go here. And hopefully we could just make the army move towards us. It'll allow us to preserve our units even more. I mean, I guess we could move all the way out here and we can still make use of this hill, in theory. If the AI is waiting, wait, can't we just do... No, we can... Well, we could come out here, but that doesn't really save us any time, does it? Whatever. No time save. We can probably just try to annoy them with magics. I just figured that the Cathay units are going to be rather slow. Where's that claw speaker? You. Go drop a Flock of Doom on the enemy. What's the distance? A bit... It's okay. It's not great, though. Alright, and speed it back up. Bhashiva. See if we can put this to use. You guys go here. You guys go here. These can't flank us. We can put you here. We can put you here. In fact, wait. Problem with this is we wouldn't be able to rush the enemy backliners, would we? Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Go here. Go here. Go here. Like so. Now you guys, you will move to where you're needed the most, and frankly, I'm kind of thinking the same about the irregular ogre mercenaries, and then thusly you guys will have to back off. You 3 move forward. You 4 go here. And let's see if we can't position 2 of you to hide and flank the enemy there. We can even try here, but I'm willing to bet that the enemy would just run into them. Alright, spin back up to max. Gonna take a bit, though. While they all position themselves. And I hope I didn't forget anybody, because if I did, it's too late. Actually, you know what? Let's... okay, you guys are going there. Let's actually put you back here. Maybe you can loop around. You are reasonably fast moving. And let's put you here, and then the center 2 units can be back here. To await wherever they need to move. Does the enemy have a pile of saber tusks with them? I'm not sure. Alright, you. Go start annoying the enemy with spell work. Huh. Are they milling around to... No, wait. They are milling around not to annoy us, but to reposition to shadow our army's movements, which, you know, fair enough. Really, that didn't annoy them? Alright, keep dropping Flocks of Doom until they do, or else we'll have to start marching forward. Ah, there we go. And hit him again. Lovely. And then back off. Are you guys in skirmish mode? You are not. That's good. There are no saber tusks to be found. The tiger warriors are hidden, unless these guys magically identify where they are. Why are you going over there? What are you doing? Sneaky ogres. All right, hopefully we're okay. Another flock of doom by the sound of it. Keep dropping it on nobblers. Are you guys just gonna sit there? What are you doing? Oh, maybe they don't want to. All right, you know what? Do this, and this. And speed it back down to normal. All right, then I would like the ogre bulls to charge. Well, actually, you guys do this. Don't even bother. Wait. Pin them in place. So we'll hit these guys here, you with the anti-large go. You guys get ready. You guys come on out. And frankly, you guys will take too long to get around, so let's just charge on through. Good. Good. And ogre bulls, let's go for the nobblers. It'll just be easier for you to do this. You guys loop around and smash into the enemy rear lines. You guys go after that little unit of nobblers. You guys can engage the, well, units of nobblers. You reduce the weakness, or make the ogre bulls weaker. Hit everybody with the additional armor. And the battle is just about ours. But this way, our casualties will be in the, single digits or something. Assuming we don't take too much damage from our own units, which actually is a distinct possibility at this point. You guys overrun the melee, and there we go. Range units stop firing. We'll chase down a few of the enemy units just because we can, although, well, we can catch the nobblers, probably not the ogres. There we go. And something the Tiger Warriors are going to be pretty adept at, especially once we get the tech to increase their speed by a further 20, which will really help out a lot. Anyway, good enough. That was a tiny little battle, but not to worry. We got a stack and a half now to fight with just tons and tons of ogre bulls, so this next upcoming battle should be a proper fight for us. All right, nearly there. Come on now. I'm also excited to try out, 463, not horrible. I'm also excited to try out Occupy. I'm also excited to try, what is a sax collector? Sure, hold on to that. And a relic gained, which we will do shortly. I'm also excited to try out the Iron Dragon insignia for the Crane Gunners, giving them Stalk, Snipe, and Unspottable. That should make the Crane Gunners extremely nasty in ambushes. Should be a very nice supporting range unit for our ambushing Tiger Warriors. As soon as we get there, we need the 4th level of the of this. But we're getting there, because these guys are having a bad day already. Now, we could grab a couple of insignia for this, but it's probably not a big enough deal to warrant it right now. Don't collect the income here as of yet. I think we will need to once again immediately start with the... I was about to say growth. Yeah, the growth is horrifically bad. So I guess we start with the White Tiger pillar. We could reduce the cost of the tribal holdfast, but at 13, yeah, no, we need the growth more. It's just too slow otherwise. And I don't want to wait 80 million turns. I also gotta watch out for this place to rebel, but again, the game doesn't punish us so much for that in vanilla as it does in SFOU. Let's get your Wild Heart, get that lovely whip power recharge when casting, as you are doing a fair bit of casting. And Bhashiva, max out on yielding. There we go. Then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. From now on, we save the points until we can access the Desert Tigress and go through the unique line, because there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I do notice that the allegiance points increases gained with Empire and High Elves and Kislev, as a few of you have suggested in the comments. We should try to get a kitty coalition and grab us some snow leopards and some white lions. Actually, the white lions would work really nicely with Bhashiva. White lion, white tiger, and white lions. But anyway, to Yeti Peak we shall go. This isn't a minor settlement, is it? Does not look like it. Big old field battle.
Chosen. The prey awaits us.
The prey awaits us indeed. Alrighty. Now, Pyrrhic victory, medium casualties, lots of enemy range units. Finally, some work for our flanking, maneuvering Tiger Warriors. And we got 3 lords this time around, so Bhashiva, who's relatively fragile, won't be able to handle them all by herself. And just tons and tons of ogre bulls to potentially overrun our relatively small melee line. I like it. I like it a lot. Go.
Stay light on your feet. They cannot kill what they cannot catch.
I can certainly try, but here we go. At long last, after all those little morsels, those teasing little caravan fights, we got a full stack and a half of ogres against us, and plenty of ogre bulls to mix in with the giant piles of nobblers as well. Will we be able to pull it off? I'm sure we will, but the question is, how much damage will we take? Now, the Mountains of Morn territory actually works fairly decently well in our favor, and perhaps even against the ogres in this particular situation, as we will be able to use this big old pile of mountains, or this cliffside here. I actually don't know what to call these things exactly, but anyway, whoever knows, you know, rock formations and whatnot, what do I call this? Yeah, this little impassable terrain bit will protect our flank, and it will allow us to deploy up on top of this hill here and take advantage of the bonuses offered by elevation. So hopefully that'll work out nicely. And while we set up, it does look like the AI will actually start moving towards us, so good for them. We will hide 2 of our ogre units and 2 of our tiger units over in the trees behind us, with the idea that the enemy might flank around us, but it might not be that. It might be, rather, that they don't attempt it. Anyway, our Jade Warriors with Halberds are about to take the hits here, but it looks like the Nobblers are charging them, and so we'll need to do a little bit of a switcheroo, as we should send some of the sword and board variants to fight the Nobblers, allowing the Jade Warriors with halberds to block off more of the enemy ogres. Now, our crossbows have a very important job here, and that will be to target as many of the ogre bulls as we can. Also, I note that the Mountain Eater faction has a green color scheme, so very similar to our own color scheme and our own ogres, but let's face it, they won't be around for too long, so we won't be noticing them too much either. Too bad we can't get some tyrants or bruisers, as they do look pretty nice in our color scheme. Anyway, as the ogres charge in, so do we countercharge with some of our Tigermen, as some of the Tiger Warriors within the tree line here, once again making use of the debuff against the large units that the ogres will suffer there. And while the regular Tiger Warriors are a little bit too fragile to deal with the ogres easily that way, we do also have the Iron Claw Tiger Warriors with their anti-large, who absolutely annihilate one of the units of ogre bulls here. Now, the enemy Nobblers are in pretty bad shape already, or at the very least the melee Nobblers are, but the enemy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units of Nobbler Flingers annoying us, and frankly, by the looks of it, and damaging our own ogre units at this point. So we're going to charge our ogre bulls through the enemy ranks and through our own ranks of Jade Warriors to try to chase down those enemy Flingers. They should be able to catch up to some, but even if they didn't, we are going to make good use of them just by forcing the enemy to be unable to attack us, as the Flingers will attempt to back off. In the meantime, Bhashiva is in a duel with the enemy Tyrant, who is at about half of his HP, and we're at about 60% of ours, so a rather even fight here, while the rest of the fight continues. Our crossbows, fortunately, are still firing, are relatively unharmed. The enemy did try to get around our flanks with 1 unit of Saber Tusks, but they were annihilated by the Tiger Warriors, who are now going to move towards all those Flingers to try and help chase them down. Gotta silence those... well, I guess not guns, but gotta stop them flinging, basically. A second unit of Ogre Warriors, or Ogre Bulls, rather, has been defeated by our Iron Claw Tiger Warriors. And they gotta get more growth to get up to that tier 4 as soon as possible to get more of these on field. Hopefully all the ogres won't be gone by then, but I imagine we'll still have greases to deal with. Alright, now I'm once again trying to remember what everybody's defeat rate is in vanilla rather than SFO, but whatever. I will be interested to see how all of these Tigermen units are integrated into the SFO lineup as well. I do feel like maybe they should have added one more unit to this DLC in the sense of perhaps a, I don't know, maybe like a support unit or like a single entity unit, something that's a little bit different to the piles of Tigermen. Essentially, we have a skirmishing or sort of precursor disc Tigerman, we have the anti-large Tigerman, we have the anti-infantry Tigerman with all the infantry, but if they had one sort of odd unit that has a completely different role than all of those, that might have been nice. But I suppose there's also the Lords, but they, yeah, kind of share the roles. Not that it's important. With that, it looks like the big old pile of ogres will break beneath the wrath of the Tigerman and the sort of staunch halberds and never-stopping pin-cushioning from the Jade Warrior crossbows. Eventually, we will most likely move them out of this particular army, though I haven't yet decided what kind of final army composition we're going to have for Bhashiva. Most likely, it'll have to involve some... Ooh, there we go, nice execution of the enemy lord. It'll have to involve some of the various lion-themed units from our faction and maybe other factions as well, or just cat-themed units. But anyway, I digress. Nice fight, chase them down, kill them all, end of the Mountain Eaters. Alrighty, there we go. All those little mini fights led the way to a proper big fight against the ogres with the 1.5 stacks of theirs falling. We did take a fair bit of damage on the relatively fragile tiger warriors with twin blades, or twin axes rather, but they also did plenty of damage. 12k damage, 13k damage on the best performing ones, out damaging all but one by the looks of a Jade Warrior crossbows. Decent work out of the ogre bulls with dual weapons, a little bit less so on the non-anti-infantry regular ogre bulls. I would have preferred to have 3 of these to mince nobblers. Obviously the Jade Warriors also held the line, but the anti-large of the Jade Warrior halberds did much better than the regular Jade Warriors, but again, unsurprisingly. Very, very nice. Close victory and nearly 5k for our trouble, as well as plenty of iron favor. Occupy.
The white tiger.
A cornate threat. Ooh, hello. Across the scarred fields and broken settlements along the Ivory Road, the scent of blood carries far beyond the mortal realm. With slaughter sustained by ceaseless conflict, the hosts of Khorne stir, spurred by an unknown hand. I mean, spurred by an unknown hand. Khorne. Obviously, yeah, but anyway. Where blades have already tasted flesh, the air grows heavy with rage. Fair enough. Alrighty, Mountain Eaters destroyed, enemy killed in battle, and Iron Favors secured, or Iron Favors secured. Mission successful. Tigers on the hunt. Battles won 3 out of 4? But it says successful. I am not sure. Also, we already read this one, so let's see what else we've got next. Ancient Giant Lands is ours. Jiao Ming's goals and insatiable drive. We read this land, well, last time, rather. Celestial Dragon Guard found, and... Huh, no new mission unlocked, but the Cornate thing is coming, and I don't know what that means. It just tells us corn things may be happening, but otherwise, okay, I guess we'll see next turn. What do we have in Yeti Peak? Oh, the money building. Don't get me wrong, I like money building. In fact, I like money building a lot, but we need growth building first. We will obviously replace with money. We will replace the money building eventually later on. You're saving points, Bhashiva. Also, rank 7 is, oh, I wonder if this will unlock your quest. Or maybe the corn thing will unlock your quest. Interesting. Heaven's Gate. Bhashiva will teleport to the selected location within range, will strike enemy combatants upon arrival, causes severe disruption to enemy combatants. This will be nice to have, but it's at rank 13, so it's going to be a bit. And this will increase her damaging capabilities a fair bit as well. Anyway, you, max out replenish troops, and, ooh, we have the choice of either the Ferocity of Kamau, which gives us unyielding assault in area, immunity to psychology for all Tiger Warrior units, and a battle prayer, Mantra of Righteousness. Wait. Ferocity of Kamau's unyielding assault. This gives melee attack and base weapon damage to all Tiger Warriors within a fairly decent range. Arcane Hymn. Huh. So each one of these is a different... Oh. I mean, I suppose what we could do then is if we could get all three claw speakers, one to represent each little sub-faction with an hour each sub-sub-faction with an hour sub-faction. Get loss reduction for all Tiger Warrior units. Neat. Spell resistance? Huh. Between three of these heroes, we'd have 45%. That's pretty nice. Yeah, anyway, what I was getting at is... Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Battle Prayer Mantra of Invigoration. Tiger Warriors get heal per second as a passive? That's really quite a bit better than everything else. But nonetheless, I want all three types, so we'll start with Ferocity of Kamau. In order to grab this, I guess, then. Much as this seems stronger, it's just that this sort of matches the life lore, and we'll have all three lores present anyway. I just want to see... We need the tier 2... No, we need the tier 3, rather, to increase the capacity for claw speakers. And yes, we got life, we got beasts, and we got shadows. Fair enough. Alright, so we'll start with... Yes, I'm aware that this is much better, but we'll start with this for you to match your sort of color scheme, so... Hey, you gotta color coordinate, people. That's what it's all about. Anyway, I believe we're good here. I believe we're good here, at the very least, until the Kamau's Pillar is complete, and until we can... Well... We can upgrade you, and it would be cheaper. I go for it. Oh, actually, wait, now that I think about it, can these be constructed in minor settlements? They can, so in theory the Dragon Armory should actually be built in a minor settlement rather than a major settlement. Though I guess we need to... Huh. Actually, Blood Peak might not be the best place to build it then, simply because... Oh, but this also gives us capacity. Simply because this has furs here. So that's what we have to build at Firemouth, and then we have to have room for 2 infrastructure buildings, I take it. One for money and one for public order, plus to gain the first yin and then yang, and depending on which point of development we're in. Meaning this will actually have to, for now, be deleted and then replaced. I suppose we could build it at... I was about to say Yeti Peak, but... Well, actually, Titan's Notch may not be the worst place to build it. Really, Carrick Varag will be our main recruiting territory, most likely, since we can build 4 buildings that will buff us. Oh, I also noticed that we don't like the Chaos Wastes. I mean, that makes sense. I just figure this is rather close to us, so this is already territory that we can't go into, so we'll just have to basically permanently station some units around here. And tigers don't like the frozen stuff. Hey, come on, what about Siberian tigers? I've seen tigers in snow. Why are you lying, game? Anyway, maybe they're there, but they don't enjoy it. Relics. Let's get our... Huh? What does this want? Oh, it unlocked new insignia. Yeah, fair enough. Also, what do we need to do here? Fight and win battles against chaos. That's a fair bit. Maintain a total of 8 units of the following type. Crane Gunners, Grand Cannons. Okay, so we actually have to build the buildings in order to get that, and attain additional insignias, 6. Okay, so that's the easy part. We can do that fairly quickly. For example, we could just give all of our crossbows things, but you know, right now there's no need to. Here, we could take the mission to capture the Maw Gate and move southward instead of engaging with Grimgor. I do wonder how long he'd be willing to wait. And it will put us into a conflict with Greasus. We do have a gold mine here, however, which is quite nice. And spices at that. And a province with 4 settlements. Yeah, plus a relic. I guess we could wait on Grimgor for a bit. Let him grow a little bit stronger. Is he at war with anybody, by the way? He is not. Most likely... Oh, wow, he's rank 12? I wonder if he'll declare war on us next if we start moving down towards Greasus. Well, I guess we could risk it. We can always cancel the mission if it doesn't work out. So, let's go Tiger Court. Wait, no. I mean, yes, Tiger Court. Because we have to pick one of these as well. And I believe we'll want to go to Teachings of Kamau for this one. Just because we'll want to get to this. Higher melee attack and higher melee defense out of that building chain. Much as I'd like to keep going through the way of the 1,000 gods, just because of the increases to our stuff. As in the melee defense and stuff, although this is basically 1 point for 3 physical resistance, which isn't much. Your armies in the region are hidden for all 4 infections. Recruitment time in the region is reduced. I do like the trade resources increased as well. But anyway, for now, teachings of Kamau. Frankly, will probably want the first level of all the types. In fact, no frankly about it, but yes. Well, yes, frankly, but anyway.
Discipline.
Alright, we'll do that. And then I guess we'll take the mission for the Maw Gate. We'll see about Grimgore. We can always cancel it if needed. Well, we have it. Accept. Why not? Alright, despite his self-involved nature, Jiao Ming takes pride in having the Tiger Warriors at his side. Never once has he doubted their ability to claim their place as part of the Celestial Empire's bulwark against evil. Yet the walls of that bulwark must not simply endure, but expand. He has found a likely place for such expansion. Lovely. Alrighty. And Jiao Ming's support. Yes, we could get the Celestial Dragon Guard in here, but we could also do so once we're closer to where enemies are positioned. We also get more tigers in here, but, you know, I think we need a little bit of money to develop our territories over the next few turns. I'm also inclined to say, well, I was about to say take out the Iron Dragon's Edict, but for now we're okay. Diplomacy check.
Anad?
Trade agreement with Carrick Azorn. Northern provinces, would you please trade? You're not even at war with anybody. This will not pay for itself quickly, so for now we'll ignore it. Eventually they'll want to trade anyway, I have no doubt. End turn. Let's see if Grimgore immediately decides to declare war on us. We could also keep the public order basically, or the thing unchecked permanently, or maybe not permanently, but for now in Yeti Peak, allowing us to develop it without worrying about the money generation. Hello. Intercept Korn's forces. Oh, they're right here. Okay, well at least we know where we're going. And it is, I take it right beside us. Let's give this a read, as this seems like a mainline sort of mission thing. Order, as demanded by the Iron Dragon, has been restored, but at far too great a cost. The quelling of troubles will not be the final act in the blood-soaked devastation wrought across the wasteland. Dire news reaches you. Driven by a malign will and fed by the relentless slaughter in the region, the warp-worn wastes have been torn into a ghastly wound, a breach around which your stalkers have scouted the prowling of multi-horned, red-skinned demons. It appears without warning or reason, but there is no time for scrutiny. You must cauterize this incursion with your Katara, lest the skull-hungry havoc of Korn be unleashed upon your lands. Alrighty. Causes fear and terror? Don't really care. Alrighty, and what do we have here? Ah, the quest battle for the Blaze of Shangyang. Win 4 battles against the Greenskins. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that mission against these guys. But we got more missions at once? Or wait, can we take multiple missions or no? Because if we have one for... Okay, I went to the wrong place. Eliminate Grease's gold tooth. Huh, funny. Okay, what about the other one? Eliminate Grimgore. Although, frankly, this is much worse than... Yeah, this gives us Celestial Dragon crossbows. Alright, well, we'll have to deal with this shortly. For now, we got Yinflow, additional growth and control much needed, caravan completed with lots of iron favor, and free gyrocopters, as well as the anchor chain. Lovely. Nope, I was about to say Bhashiva, you can take the anchor chain. Give you a little bit of extra melee defense and physical resistance. Then,
my tools to the Iron Dragon.
the Blaze of Shangyang, yes, I know that the quest was issued, game. I already saw that. Quest issued, hello. Tao Yan the Merciless, oh, the legendary hero, yes. Tao Yan the Merciless, trouble in the Heartland. Kill 1,000 enemies in battle. News reaches you of a plan by celestial authorities to increase the deployment of the Emperor's loyal troops across all Grand Cathay's holdings. It is a response to recent uprisings in the Heartland, prompting other dragons to also increase their martial influence everywhere the Celestial Emperor holds sway. It is certain, however, that such increased military activity will not be conducive to your own ambitions in the region. The risk of jurisdictional squabbles with the other dragons could also risk all your progress made until now. A show of strength would be the best course of action, to let the powers of Grand Cathay know that their military needs here are met. Construct 3 Harmony buildings. Okay, sure. Wait, what do we have to do? Kill 1,000 jerks? Yeah, kill 1,000 jerks, alright. That we can do. You will need growth rapidly. Yeah, 3 turns, even with this, yeah. Massively and rapidly increase growth. Here, I'm going to say... You know what? It's a choice between these two. They're both really nice. 2 additional control. There's some great stuff here. I guess the construction cost for capitals. They're significantly more expensive than the, well, than the infrastructure. Frankly, we'll need both either way, so it doesn't really change much. Alright, here we've got the control building coming in, and then we'll double up on the control building. Then here we will also double up on the growth building. Though admittedly, if we briefly build this, the peasant huts, we could use it to upgrade you for significantly cheaper at the cost of control. Now we could counteract that with a Jade Dragon's Edict. We would gain some control out of this, but this would allow us to grow faster. If we keep fighting, we should be able to overcome the losses. We could also uncollect the income for a while if we really wanted to. Yeah, you know what? I'd like the faster growth rate because we really just want access to Tiger Warrior Stalkers and more Claw Speakers and a bunch of other things, really. So, hey, yeah, gotta get to that as fast and as soon as we possibly can. Anyway, you're good now. Bhashiva, I take it you cannot reach this place immediately, but that's fine because I wanted you to channel for a turn anyway. So let's put you into channeling stance right outside Titan's Notch and get ready to hit the Cornates at the Burning Path. I do wonder whether we can reinforce, but I guess we'll see. Oh, hopefully we can kill 1,000 of them there. You can grab Root Marcher immediately. You will not have an army for a bit, but, you know, as soon as we can make it happen. And the rest of this looks okay. Alright, diplomacy. How about that trade agreement? Still no dice. Come on.
General.
We could probably make it happen if we just built that Furs building. But anyway. Alright, let's skip. Let's end the turn. Quick little end turn. Almost tempted to use some of the Iron Favor to get the additional insignias on our crossbows, but again, the unshielded, it bothers me that they're the unshielded variant. We're also rapidly running out of time, and I do want to fight that Cornate fight. Ah, Mr. Scory Stonebeard. If we are going to fight Goldtooth, we don't care about this. You know what, fine, just do it. Whatever. Alright, ooh, hello, what do we have here? The Box of Delights. A wild-eyed alchemist proudly presents you with an ornate chest, which seems to vacillate in and out of corporeality. He declares that it contains purest magic, distilled from several tons of warpstone, and purged of all corruption. Conveniently so. His experiment, alas, is unrepeatable, so the spoon must be used wisely. Construction cost for young buildings at the cost of a big bonus for control. We're building mostly yin buildings right now, not yang buildings, so I think we'll take the control. Execute the alchemist. Why? No. Oh, reduce the corruption from, you know, the crazy nonsense that's happening from the warpstone. Just give it all to Jiao Ming, that's how you bribe him. Inhale the contents yourself for the control. Lovely. Then, I guess we're fighting Cornates. I do wonder what kind of army we've got up ahead, but I guess we're about to find... Ooh. Watch Grimgor hit us immediately. We'd be in range. I wonder if we could attempt an ambush of his army immediately after fighting these guys. Is that a bad idea? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we're soon about to find out. Also, let's quickly build up the White Tiger Shrine for the additional growth. And I guess we gotta keep the Iron Dragon's Edict because we're still building stuff here. And we'll build the Peasant Stables and then immediately upgrade the Tribal Holdfast here and then quickly get rid of the Peasant Stables afterwards. And we can also build that there before we upgrade this to the next tier because that will start getting expensive. Yes. Alrighty, that's decided. Let's Corninate. I live for that. I must have selected the wrong lord. Burning Path. What do we have here? And, ooh, that actually puts us closer to Grimgor. Game. How dare you. Defeat the following lord in battle. It is too late. Khorne's forces have already breached the rift. Just as Kamau thwarted Tzeentch, you must destroy them. Intercept Khorne's forces before they reach full strength. We've read. Alright. Gandari. Move to reinforce. And Bhashiva. Kill. Pyrrhic victory and Gorby's chariots. Nice. Exalted Bloodletters, a skull cannon. Got some good stuff. Let's see if it's good enough.
Stay light on your feet. They cannot kill what they cannot catch.
Well, that remains to be seen because, well, the enemy is plenty killy here. Should be a pretty darn interesting fight against the forces of Khorne, and judging by the fact that this gave us a mission to fight them, there may be more sort of chaos armies popping up like this, should make for some interesting fights, especially if it gives us different chaos factions to fight. Now, unfortunately, we still don't have stock available on our Tiger Warriors as yet, so we need to make use of the tree lines and such to hide them until we're ready to employ them in that particular manner. Otherwise, the big issue here is going to be the fact that the enemy has a skull cannon. We have no real way to attack it unless we move towards it. No real way to assassinate it or obliterate it. What we do, however, have is terrain that will probably be conducive to minimizing that particular threat. Rather than attempting to take the high elevation, we'll actually stay below, and the lower elevation, making use of the hill and the cliffside to make the more or less direct firing hill cannon unable to target us. We, however, can fire over the impassable terrain, this little cliffside here, and ooh, I made you go a little bit too close. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to avoid. One hit from the Hell Cannon does a solid little bit of damage to this Jade Warrior unit, and more Hell Cannon hits are coming in, or not Hell Cannon, I keep saying Hell Cannon, Skull Cannon hits are coming in. We're going to move you a teensy bit, and there we go. Hide you behind the cliffside so that this thing can only shoot into the cliffs. There we go, and thusly we will set up like this. It will mean leaving a little bit more of an open area than I would have liked. I wanted to block this entire area off, but it's all good. Anyway, we move up now. One of our Jade Warrior crossbows does have that Lichbone Penance, so should be fairly effective at pin-cushioning those bloodletters, which will be our first target. And it does look like the bloodletters are moving towards us. Fortunately, they are rather vulnerable to said pin cushioning, and that's pretty important right now, as I wager that the bloodletters, exalted or not, will be able to cut apart the regular Jade Warriors without too much trouble. And Bhashiva going to quickly countercharge one of the units of bloodletters, get a couple of hits in to mince seven of them, and then use her speed to get the heck out of there. While this unit collapses with about 25% of its HP remaining, the other unit is also having a fairly bad time, as it has reached our Jade Warriors, but has also suffered pin cushioning. It is, however, going to get some support as the Chaos Knights of Khorne move in to support their lord, Eddie, the Herald of Khorne. Level 15, though, not bad. Almost twice the level of Bhashiva by the time we get this quest. That's quite interesting. But I guess the game wanted us to have a proper lord to fight. Anyway, the Jade Warrior Halberds will block off the Chaos Knights, but it is the Furies that are going to be a little bit of an issue. Fortunately, we did remain with 3 units of Tiger Warriors in order to protect the crossbows, so we tear apart those units of Furies that touch down upon the crossbows and then reposition. Speaking of repositioning, the units that were hiding are also now moving out of the tree line. Ogre Bulls ready to charge into this flank, and Tiger Warriors that are over on this side ready to charge into these guys to make use of all that devastating flanker that we have on them. Or ferocious, whatever it is. Ferocious Ambush, charge bonus, charge speed, and devastating flanker all together at once. Now, as expected, our first unit of Jade Warriors is attempting to flee as they got torn apart by the Exalted Bloodletters here. But even if they run, we will be able to get a rear charge into the enemy with our Tiger Warriors and the Ogre Mercenaries with them. The Skull Cannon does get a couple more shots up, but we do finally tear it to shreds with our 4 Jade Warrior crossbows focusing it, and they will now switch to trying to target Eddie, who unfortunately did too much damage to Bhashiva, and she's going to back off to try to chase down some of the Gorby's chariots over on the left flank. Still, the terrain is working quite well for us. It has allowed us to employ our units in a nice bit of flanking maneuvers on both sides. And our Jade Warriors held just long enough for those units to make it into the fray. The Chaos Knights are below half of their HP, and the enemy lord, I believe, is banished, or about to be. He is down to about 20% of his HP, but he has moved away from the main fight to intercept one of the units of Tiger Warriors, protecting the rest of his bloodletters by getting in their way. So good for him, I suppose. That's a caring Khornate commander, Eddie is. Alright, but he won't be for too much longer as he should be oh, he's unbreakable. I was about to say he should be banished, but he'll be torn to shreds and eaten by the Tiger. Well, maybe not eaten, but torn to shreds by the Tigermen instead. Anyway, with the fall of the mighty Eddie, the Chaos Knights are fleeing the field of battle. The Bloodletters are banished, and with that, the battle is ours. Many a corpse litters the field, however, as we suffered severe damage on Tiger Warriors, Ogre Mercenaries, and Jade Warriors alike. But it is worth it to banish and destroy the followers of the Blood God. I don't imagine we will be able to catch the Gorby's Chariots of Corn, and I guess this is one of those reasons that we may want some Snow Leopards or War Lions in here to be able to chase things down like this. Though once again, our units will eventually be considerably faster, so maybe they'll be able to chase slower cav and stuff like this themselves. Anyway, a very nice fight, and hopefully more to come in a similar vein. Ooh, alrighty, very nice fight against Khorne with only some of the fast movers escaping. The Chaos Knights did not. However, it was a close victory and we took a fair bit of damage for our trouble, so definitely puts us into a dangerous position should Grimgor choose to capitalize on this. But what can you do? We get 1.5k money as a reward. I would say heal, but at 10%, once again, it's pretty minimal. And probably wouldn't make much of enough of a difference even if Grimgor did attack us. So I'm once again thinking we just take the money. Great work out of the Iron Claw Tiger Warriors. Once again, that anti-large coming in very handy, even as or just as handy against the Chaos Knights as it has been against the Ogres, and we really just need a few more of these guys. The crossbows did well, and frankly, I a little bit regret not grabbing up that Celestial Dragon Guard unit, because we could have used it. But all good. All good indeed. And 5k damage on Bhashiva so far. Alrighty, we will take the money. And, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they withdrew, and while we could, in theory, chase them down, this definitely puts us way too close to Grimgor. Uncomfortably so. But then, you're not at war with these guys. I do wonder... Wait. Let's give this some thought before we do anything. What is this? The mission issued The Righteous Path. Devote relics in Tiger Court, current 0 out of 4. Okay, so we gotta find 4 more relics. I see one here. There's one at Jarna Grun, but that one's gonna be a long time until we can grab that up, and there are none to the north. Huh? Oh, that's Grimgor. I thought Nangao didn't like us, and I was like, excuse me? Ah, there's one at Pig Barter as well as one here. Yeah, there's definitely reason to go southward into these guys' territory. Anyway, the Righteous Path, devote relics. Let's give this a read. Bloodshed beyond measure has long since taught you that most battles are decided well before claw ever meets enemy flesh. You have grown accustomed to reading the unspoken in your warrior's talk, catching the rhythm of the marching tread, and absorbing the temper of the camp at dusk. The truth dampens your heart. Though the Tiger Warrior's resolve is mighty, it is being corroded by a manipulative enemy who weakens them for the more important struggles to come. Sunk in constant vigilance, your retinue's armor scarcely creaks beneath guarded gestures. They brace for another night of fitful delirium brought on by the threat of a whispered enemy. The strength of the Tiger Court draws from the relics. The strength the Tiger Court draws from the relics and the righteous path they uphold are the only things keeping your minds from slipping into a nightmarish unreality, even as that path leads you further from Shangyang. Alrighty, defeat the following lord's army in battle. Complete. And much as I'd love to chase you down, we're going to pop you, Bhashiva, into ambush and send you to our territory at the Titan's Notch right here. If Grimgor attacks us, then great, or maybe not great, depending on how it works out, and if not, these guys should probably move towards us and we'll immediately kill them anyway. I assume that they are last to move, so they would move after Grimgor. Also, Bhashiva, alright, we're saving the points until rank 12, and we're certainly getting there. And the Claw Speaker has reached the spell resistance, so I'm gonna say grab Divine Epiphany into Unrelenting Conduit. In SFO, I'd grab the Vigor Loss, but right in Vanilla, I think we'll go for the spell resistance. Alright, looks pretty darn good to me. Then, wait, did we send a new convoy out? We did not. I forgot about it. My bad. It's been a couple turns, my bad. Well, actually, it's only been one turn, so it's not that bad. But anyway, still my bad. What do we have here? Celestially Blessed. We get a unit of... We can get a unit of Great Longmar Riders. That's probably worth it. I'm gonna say, yeah, Celestially Blessed. Hire you. Oh, and you need levels as well. And then that was Karazakarag. Before we declare war on Greasus, we'll probably want to travel through his territories, so we'll send you to Baragavar next. And once again, increase the money. Oh, wait, we use money to get money here. We could go all the way to Myrmidons instead and grab the Iron Favor. Well, money, favor, all good. Yeah. And then while we're there, let's go to you. Let's immediately grab Hidden Stores and Cargo Capacity. Yeah, cargo capacity. We'll still grab Hidden Stores immediately as soon as you level, which will probably happen as you travel anyway, so we're good there. Building-wise, we are good, and Gandari, we could level you. Is there anything in the blue line that would be of use to us? Not really. I think you're going to need Unyielding anyway, because you buff Ironclaw Tiger Warriors, and we're going to need to buff them, so might as well. Though we could make you into a fighter. We can't afford a second army as yet, but we will eventually be able to, especially since, again, the Jade Warriors and stuff are dirt cheap, and we can increase their capacities fairly quickly. Alright, the rest of this looks good to me. And all things in balance, so in case Grimgor attacks us, let us grab up the Celestial Dragon Guard like so. And the Regiments of Renown, we could get the Empress Crowmen in here. I'm not so sure that they actually add all that much to this particular army composition type. The Bandits of the Silver Road would give us the ability to debuff enemies for fire resistance, but it would mean taking some units out. But I suppose we could just pop both of them into this army. And just to reinforce. Grab a peasant while you're at it. Yeah, alrighty. I would like to be able to separate these armies, you know, sooner rather than later. Anyway, let's end the turn and see what happens out of curiosity. Wait, that didn't kill 1,000 troops? Nope, 795. I guess we'll need a few more. Fair enough. Fair enough. Also, out of curiosity, insignias. Yeah, so these guys are more powerful, but they cannot be given an insignia, so I do wonder. Without auras or anything, 8.3k versus 8.4k, with individual units being stronger. These guys, via the insignia, get the additional melee defense and armor, which actually might make them on par with the Celestial Dragon Guard, essentially. Nonetheless. Anyway, let's end the turn, and let's see if Grimgor does anything. Oh, I should have taken the mission. If we have the Defeat Grimgor mission and he attacks us right now, then yeah. I could have also just declared war on him and just seen if he decided to sally out. No, he does not. Alright, well, maybe still try the ambush against him, though, because I think it is a good idea. How to resolve this, for obvious reasons. Huh? You're lightning striking us? I wasn't expecting that. How to resolve. And 1,400 gold. Not bad at all. Take the gold, I guess.
Keep your lives.
And I take it nobody else is coming for us right now? Sad Slaneshi giggle. Alright, doesn't look like it. Hey, you immediately get to add stuff, and I'm gonna say Jade Warrior crossbows. I mean, yes, we do need line holders, and, well, frankly, you have barely any line holders. Actually, with the reliance on Cav, we might actually need this Peasant Spears more than we do the Jade Warrior crossbows. Oh well. Sons of the Mountain, faction destroyed. So Greasy is finished with everybody that is not Karak Azorn, so he'll be moving this way. If we want to wipe him out, meeting him here would be a good opportunity, but with Grimgor right there, I'm not so sure. Well, either way. Tea-Master for Shiva, relic discovered at Marienburg. Unless we get ability to teleport over there, I don't think we're going there anytime soon. And we certainly won't be going there this episode, as unfortunately with that we're out of time, and this is probably a pretty good place to call it here. We had a couple of great fights, the massive fight against the ogres, the big fight against Khorne, with the terrain offering us some very nice benefit there to protect us from that skull cannon irritating us. Next time we fight Grimgor or Greasy, or possibly both, we complete the quest to unlock Taoyan the Merciless and see what exactly she does, and or what she buffs in our armies, and see if we can't upgrade our buildings enough to start unlocking new units and, well, more Tiger Warriors. I really want to put those Tiger Warrior Stalkers to use, plus the level 12 out of Bhashiva, increasing number of convoys and getting various buffs. Stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.